Hi folks, Daniel Swartz here from Sweet Home Farm. Just got done. I was back in the woods making one of my trails a little better with a machete and went back to move my stallion. I got staked out, but just wanted to show you something on the farm here. It's a great surprise and a wonderful blessing. One of my favorite trees is the oak tree. It's just so dang durable. And one thing that just amazes me about oak trees is there are oak trees that are hundreds of years old. There are oak trees living today that are older than the United States of America, the founding of our country, like 400-500-year-old oak trees. And just the thought of planting something like that could potentially last, 6-7 lifetimes. So I've always been kind of enamored with oak trees, and I thought about maybe planting some in our yard here. Even though we're full of trees, this is all first succession trees that grew up here. We have black ash, black cherry, we have pin cherry, and some aspen. But look what I found. So this area that we roughed up to prepare our pad for our trailer house, there must have been dormant seeds laying underneath the surface of the soil, because only in the roughed up areas these little seedlings sprouted. They're little red oak seedlings. Pretty cool. So here's one. We put this one here by our pump. We have trees for now that will provide shade, but eventually we'll have a fence through here and a water tank. And this oak tree, if it makes it, though it took us transplanting, perfect. It'll provide shade. Now there's two of them over here. Just decided we're really busy with moving and trying to get our house good enough to move, but I didn't want to ignore these. Just like these wonderful blessings. This one here stayed right where it was, right where we found it. So my wife was coming through here, through this opening in the trees with a van and a trailer, and she'd park right about here, and she transplanted all her perennial flowers there last year. So right in the tire track where she was driving constantly last year, that seedling sprouted. So these oak acorns must need a disturbance or something to spur them to grow. I don't know what it is. There's another one over here. This one we're also going to leave where it's at. This one I just put some blocks around it to mark it so we don't mow it over by mistake. And then there's another one. These will all be in the yard. So they just have a little border made with bricks. There was another one that grew up, which is going to be in a bad spot in the yard. And that guy only wants so many oak trees in the yard because, I want a little sunshine coming through. But out here, beyond this post, we'll be putting a fence line in here. This is all going to be pasture, and I always love the idea of a pasture with large oak trees for shade. But you got to put a little barrier around the tree where the animals will stand under it and just, they compact the soil so much they can kill even big trees. We put this little guy out here in the middle of the pasture. So a method that we found to get trees off to a really good start. This one here looks like it's got slight wilt to it, but I think it's going to be all right. So we like to dig out the dirt, really chop it up really nice, and then we add some compost in there, and then we put wood chips on top. And that method has worked really well in the past. So hopefully this little guy, the oaks that have done that width before. They grew over 2 foot a year when they've had a nice prepared bed like this. So this little guy might take 5 years to be 10 feet. Probably take 20 to be a good shade tree, but there it is.